Hi everyone, welcome back, and today we are going to make breadsticks now. Why breadsticks? Because I didn't feel like having bread and I didn't feel like making biscuits. I wanted something a little different. So I made breadsticks, and I actually made them two different ways. I tried to make the thin kind, and then you see here I made the thicker, poofier kind. Well, mostly because it was a request from my kids to make the slightly bigger version. So here we go, check this out. The first thing we need is some dough to work with. I had some in the freezer, all thawed out. Take it out of the freezer bag and get it into a bowl. Come on, we can do it. It is a little sticky. And that's about a half a pound. We're going to cover it with plastic and let it sit till we're ready to work with it. So after about an hour, it's risen. So now it's time to make our breadsticks. Now I'm not going to use all that dough. There's just no way, it would take me forever. I wanted to get about a dozen or so sticks. So I laid some flour down on our cutting board, and now the fun part is getting that dough out of the bowl. I suppose you could spray it before you started. It still comes out, it's just a little gooey. So you want to put some flour on the dough just to make it easier to work with. Oh, I've sprinkled a little bit on there. Till it's, you don't want a ton on, but enough so that you can work with it. Well, the idea here is we're going to pull apart enough pieces to make the breadsticks. And I'm kind of guessing at this point. I'm not really sure how much I'm going to need, like how big the pieces would need to be, since I've never actually done this before. So I pulled out what I figured was enough breadsticks, and the rest of the dough, which is about half, I rolled it into a little loaf. So I thought, along with our breadsticks, since I got it, I'm not going to let it go to waste. We'll make a little loaf. The first thing I found was it wasn't that easy to roll these things out. Now you would think it would be. I stretched it and pulled it and played around with the dough, and it was stretchy, and every time I tried rolling it on the cutting board, it just wouldn't work. So what I found was if I twisted them into little twisty guys, and there you see. Well, the next move, once we twisted them all and put them on our baking sheet, I've got some garlic butter and a little bit of salt. So we spread that on them, and into the oven they go. And look at that when they come out. They smell great, they look great, and they taste great. And there's our little loaf that we had left over too. I also put the rest of the garlic butter on top of that. So this is our second batch of breadsticks. I was getting a little better with the chunks of dough I needed. At least I thought I was. So I tried to get them into roughly the same size ahead of time. And then I knew what I had to work with, right? And once I rolled the first one out, and I found if I rolled it between my two palms, it seemed to go a little better. If I was making the first version because they were thinner, I'd probably still have to twist them like I did just to get them smaller. But with a little effort and a little perseverance, and you can see the ones that I get working, they're going to expand a little bit as they sit there. And of course, once you get them in the oven, they're going to poofy up a little bit too. So we have to take that into account. It didn't take long because I had done this before with the smaller versions. With the skinnier versions, so it went along pretty good. Now once this is done, of course we'll have to get our baking pan out, parchment paper. And we're going to do the same thing we did. Well, I didn't do too bad, just over, I got a baker's dozen out of the deal. So I didn't get as much as the first batch, but I still got lots, more than enough for a meal. And of course, these are a bigger variation. I got them fit on the baking pan. So of course, once again, we've got our garlic butter. And we're going to do the exact same thing. Brush the garlic butter onto our breadsticks. Throw a little bit of salt on them. I guess if you got the bigger salt, you could throw that on too. It's all going to do the same thing. And into the oven they're going to go. 10-ish minutes, 15. You got to watch them. As soon as they start browning up like this, get them out. You don't want them to burn. And there you see, they look nice and brown. They're always going to be browner on the bottom unless you flip them upside down halfway through. But, you know, I never did that. They're absolutely fine the way they are. So doesn't that look good? I hope you enjoyed this. And I hope you'll try making the breadsticks. If you do, once again, leave me a comment below. Give me a like. Subscribe if you haven't. Ring the bell. And of course, leave me a comment below. I'd love it. Listen, I hope you enjoyed this. Have fun. And we'll see you next time. Bye for now.